Hello, everyone. Today's devotional reading will be from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 9, verses 35 through 38, where it is written, Then Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and curing every disease and every sickness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. They said to his disciples, The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore ask the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest. This is the gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. Evangelism. Obviously, Jesus here is not talking about farming. How is the labor shortage? How can we get all these crops harvested? Obviously, not what he's talking about. It's evangelism. But evangelos, good tidings, evangelos in Greek, I don't think we really get where that comes from. It comes not from a religious aspect, but from a military aspect. When the emperor or a king won a battle, they would send out messengers. Evangelos is what they were called, or evangelios. And they'd say to the people of the new city or back in the home country, Hooray, good news, the emperor Julius Caesar won. King whoever won, the battle is ours. That's where this thing came from. So Jesus here is using a military term. When a guy wins a battle, he sends his people saying, Hey, I won. That's the kind of language he's using. I'm the general. You're the heralds. Tell everyone I won. The kingdom is on its way because the battle has been won. With the battle being, of course, not a military power, not an earthly country, but far more profound. The enemy is death itself. The enemy is our own human nature, where we do horrible things to each other just because we can. The enemy are the spiritual forces of evil, Satan. And people say, "Oh, well, Satan. That's just part of our collective unconscious. It's just a cultural thing." Really? Have you read the front page of the newspaper? Or, you scroll the headlines. Do you know how messed up our world is? Now, part of that is humans' fault. We choose to cooperate and perpetuate horrible systems. And yes, they're there egging us on, too. We're both equally culpable. And Jesus Christ comes to defeat both the spiritual forces of evil and our own fallen human nature that wants to participate. It says the victory's been won. Far more profound than America winning the war or any other nation winning the war is, I, God, have come to rescue you. You, my children, were in the household of death, of which you willfully started to walk away from me. And then after you realized what you signed on for is too late. You thought you'd never see me again. Why come to casually cast aside Satan himself, death itself, and your own terrible human nature? I've come to rescue you, forgive you, and restore you. The cross was not just the battle, it was the war. And the war is won. So let everyone know the good news that's coming. The conquering king is coming, and he is inevitable. He is unstoppable. Military metaphors like this are very much appropriate, for the war has been won. And that's the really beautiful thing about the gospel. Alexander the Great won for a while, but then he died. Charlemagne, all the great Roman emperors, Napoleon, whoever, they did very well for their lifetime, but then they died. But Jesus is alive. He'll always be victorious. So in him, whether we live or we die or whatever, we'll be victorious too. This metaphor is perfectly appropriate. What are we even worried about? We're on the winning team. With that being said, let's close with a word of prayer. Lord, I must always be with you, to never doubt your victory, and God, may we never doubt your love for us, and may we always turn to you, God, when we most need it, and so be victorious. Amen.